I either have to practice mogging sober or find a new form of content is an insane sentence. All right. It's time, guys. I'm so excited to talk about this with you guys and watch this with you guys. I don't know if you guys saw Clavicular overdosed on stream. Clav heads are in shambles, I have to say. What's with the vibes in this club?
How do you feel?
Dude, why are the vibes in this club so abysmal?
When did you last take blue? You want natty? You want natty?
And then this shit made People magazine. What he overdosed on? Want an Addy? Want an Addy? Looksmaxxing influencer Clavicular hospitalized for suspected overdose after abruptly ending live stream. I saw this on TMZ. I saw this on Yahoo News. I don't know if anyone still uses Yahoo News ever. I saw this on obviously People. There were other news networks. CBS covered this. What the fuck? Influencer Clavicular rushed to hospital after suspected overdose in Miami. This guy is 20. I take doctor prescribed ketamine denims, and if you take too much, you'll be forced to lay down before you overdose. So I'm hoping he didn't actually overdose and just scared himself straight a little. I have no idea why you would take it at the club. Jesus. Well, I was only talking about that because I really wanted to talk about this.
I ain't gonna be doing any more substances for a little while, hopefully for forever. But that means I can't really IRL stream anymore. So that's the thing. I really can't IRL stream because, as you guys know, I'm quite brutal without that shit. So that's I think I have to figure something else out. Fuck. I have to figure out a new method. Either practice mogging sober or just find a new form of content. I don't know. It's fucking done for.
He adds music? No, other people add this fucking cringe ass music. I either have to practice mogging sober or find a new form of content is an insane sentence. Okay. I feel like every time Clavicular says anything, I'm like, if you weren't insane and you didn't take everything to the extreme, I would almost understand you. Almost. Because, like, I agree with the idea, like the purest form of that idea, where it's like, I feel like I am the best at mogging when I've had one, maybe two drinks. I feel like I am aura maxing. I feel like I have so much aura because I just shed any anxiety and everything's fun. So I'm like, yeah. But like ODing on every substance in the book, bro. What? How many of you guys saw the 60 minutes of Clavicular? Oh my God, people haven't seen it? I can't believe he got on 60 minutes.
Good, ready to go? Great, okay, no worries.
There's a shorter version that has like the highlights. Let me see if I can find it.
Clavicular, thanks for chatting to me.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
What do I call you? That's my first
Why does he look so out of it?
question.
You could go with Clav.
Do you go by Braden anymore?
Haven't heard that one in a while.
Why not?
I would just say that I kind of like to keep my
Drug maxing streamer gets brutally cat mogged.
personal identity a little bit, not necessarily private, because pretty much all my information is doxed out there, but it's sort of a new era in my life with all of the content I'm doing. So it doesn't even really feel like when I hear that name anymore, that it, you know, resonates almost in a way.
It's interesting.
Okay, I feel like we're hyper focusing on the name part and the moniker part for no reason. I feel like anyone who's had a moniker on the internet for any period of time, that you get the same experience where it feels weird. Maybe other people haven't had this experience. You ever have your gaming bros call you by your legal name and it's like, am I in trouble or something? Uh. Yo, chill. I'm gonna be honest. Pretty much all of the people that I know, well, not all of the people, obviously my family is different, call me Denim, but I've been getting called that for like for years before I started streaming because it was the moniker I would use online. So it's not like weird. I don't know. It's not weird. It's like just normal if you spend time on the internet. I don't know.
You say that because the fact that your life's changed is putting it rather lightly, isn't it? Are you a different person in your personal life than the person we see streaming?
Just sort of, kind of, like, you know, with all of the relevancy and just the fact that I can't even really go outside anymore without.
That's what I'm saying. This interviewer refuses to stoop down to Clavicular's level. He just makes fun of him for having a chud-ass worldview, ends up not getting any good info out of this little science experiment. Yeah.
Like security.
You introduce yourself as Denims to new people. It depends if they're in the content space or not. But yeah. Yeah. Because everybody else calls me that. So if I go to like a party or like a hangout or like whatever, and it's a bunch of like content creators or a bunch of like streamers and whatever, everyone else is going to call me Denim. So if I tell them my legal name and then they start calling me that, they're going to be like confused when someone is calling me Denim and everybody else calls me Denim and everybody refers to me as that. So it's just like normal, I guess. I don't know.
Teams and stuff. No, it's a different lifestyle, but I'd say I'm generally the same person. Just different mission, I guess you could say.
What is your mission?
I think that young men are arguably living in the worst dating market that has ever existed with how bad hypergamy is.
That is insane. Men are living in the best dating market that's ever existed in the history of ever. Oh my fucking God. After TwitchCon, I got all these friend suggestions on Facebook and I had a very confusing week of who the fuck is Brooke, etc. What's your illegal name? If it's a casual thing, do you say, hi, I'm Pants? No. I just always say, because some places are loud as hell. I'm just like, hi, I'm Denims, like the pants. And they're like, oh, I won't forget that. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. But it works the best, so I do it every time. Anyways, how bad what is hypergamy? What the fuck is that? Am I a dumb fuck? Hypergamy is just this idea that people are constantly, especially women with manospheres, women are constantly trying to date up and improve their status by going for high value men. So in this context, it's like women are naturally hypergamous. This is what manosphere bros will say. Women are naturally hypergamous. And they will always seek out the highest value man, and that to them is like men who make the most money. But it's so fucking stupid because you're talking about different groups of people. Like there are women that are hypergamous, and if you act in ways that attract hypergamous women, those are the only women you are going to attract. Like, hello? Women aren't a monolith. I know. Isn't that insane to say? The other thing that's really stupid about the idea of like hypergamous women is that what they don't understand is that in the type of people that talk about hypergamous women, in their own worldview, men are also hypergamous. It's just that the status symbol they're looking for is physical attraction or someone that is physically attractive and will maintain their looks above all else. And let's be real. How do you maintain your looks for decades? By having money.
With a lot of the tendencies of modern women I would say it's kind of my mission to not only raise awareness to this, but sort of bring about a solution instead of just the typical red pill complaining and that sort of thing that you see.
I knew this would happen. I'm struggling to understand exactly what you mean by any of that. What is your opinion of women?
What is my personal opinion?
Oh God. Wait, really quickly. Nah, I think dating now is worse than before for men, but not for hypergamy or incel reasons. Elaborate. I would love to know what you think then. Why it's worse.
Of women? Well, I don't really think that's even relevant to the point I just made. I would say that it's all pretty statistically backed, right? So we take a look at all the stats that are released by like the online dating apps, and how the bottom 80% of women are going for the top 20% of the profiles on there. So even that's enough to kind of justify that hypergamy is a real thing, and that there is something going on that's horribly wrong with society.
What do you think that is?
Well, it's like I just said, it's female hypergamy.
To the uninitiated, and let's be honest, probably the rather confused among us, can you explain to me what Looksmaxxing is for you and what it does for you?
Looksmaxxing is just another form of self-improvement that is a little bit more holistic, I guess you could say, than
It feels like the internet fried a lot of people's brains. Dating apps feel like people don't care about each other, just think it was easier 10, 20 years ago. But you're just saying, I think dating apps are bad. That's not a controversial opinion. So I think the problem is that dating hasn't really changed fundamentally, or like the ability to date normally hasn't changed. It still exists. And dating apps still suck. I mean, I went yesterday to go, forget what I was doing. I was going to some store for something. I went and I had some dinner outside. And I walked past this bar that was having like speed dating. And it was like outside, there was like 6 different people talking to each other and asking each other questions, being like, wow. And like, I'm like doing a little eavesdropping. It's a public place. I'm allowed to eavesdrop a little in a public place about strangers I will never speak to or remember. I'm like, let me listen. Ooh, drama. And like, they're just talking about normal stuff. Every single one of those tables was just talking about normal stuff. Oh, so what do you do? Oh, that's cool. All right, so what do you think about this? And like, everyone's having a good time. Like, this has been, if dating apps existed for longer than 20 years, the dating apps would have sucked back then too. It's just, if you just like go outside, I hate to say it, I know, as a degenerate gamer, internet loser, computer freak, you go outside, everything is still pretty much the same-ish. I don't think dating is impossible. I think it's worse. Like, with no apps, no brainrot, I think it'd be better, but I don't know, maybe just me, because I know dating apps are bad, but I interact with people in person, especially around my age. Feels like people are more likely to be rotted and weird compared to 10 years ago. Like, how? I personally don't think so. Now it's hard because I can't comment on like really like the younger Zoomers, because I don't interact with like 20-year-olds like ever. I guess I'm not really ever interacting with 20-year-olds. So I don't know what that's like. And I've seen some posts talking about like men and women are more traditional, trad, and conservative now, which kind of probably sucks. But I really don't think, like, brain rot has kind of always been around. It's just been in different shapes and forms. And it's just that the internet brain rot is just something that people don't like because it's just the thing that's happening now. Women are more educated, have more financial freedom, so men for the first time have to work on themselves more. Well, I don't even think so. I think like I'm 26, to me, and there's lots of normal, cool people. I think just less. I think this is like a grass is greener situation. For every like person that might be brain rotted in a stupid way that's younger, there's like 1,000 like 30, 40-year-old dudes that think like that are either cringe atheist bros. I'm just talking about like men, so you can specify on the women. Or they think like it's funny or cool to never be interested in like a woman's hobbies or whatever. Like the rot has always existed. It's just manifested in different ways. Like I'm sorry, objectively, as someone who doesn't care about weddings, as someone who doesn't want a wedding and never wants one and has never wanted one, what a nightmare for me. Like this entire fucking sorry, traditional weddings and like you book a venue for tens of thousands of dollars and invite a bunch of people and have this cake that fucking sucks but looks kind of nice. And I hate that idea. Like I kind of respect weddings that are like small little get-togethers where you literally just like rent 30 chairs and go to a beach. And like instead of doing like wedding catering, you just do, you know, normal catering and just have some fun and it's more like a party. That's dope. Why do wedding cakes always taste like ass? Because it's just for visual presentation, you know? Favorite Miss Andrews streamer. Why did I bring that up? My cake looked good and was delicious. I ate it for a whole week after my wedding. Wait, actually? Why the fuck did I bring that up? One word, fondant. Even non-fondant cakes. But like, that's because buttercream sucks most of the time. Controversial opinion. I don't feel like it's that controversial. Why did I get on this? Hold. Oh, a very weird thing. A very weird brain rot that you run into with like older dudes is older here is just like not Zoomers, millennials. Is like dudes that think like basically harassing your partner is funny. Like it's a very immature thing that exists in millennials. Like the cake smashing, the taking your wife's face and shoving her face in a cake thing. It's like, dude, as someone who is not a wedding enthusiast, I like going to other people's weddings. That shit's fun. But as someone who's not a wedding enthusiast for myself, like that has never been a dream of mine. I've never wanted one. I've never cared about that. A party sounds like fun, but like not at a wedding. I could not imagine spending tens of thousands of dollars on a venue, on catering, on food and drinks and clothes and makeup and hair. And then you just get your face smashed in a cake. Like you're wasting this cake that you just spent like tens of thousands of dollars on the cake. And then your makeup is fucking ruined for all the photos for the rest of the night. And then your hair is fucking ruined. Like, dude, that shit is mold inducing. Being mean equals funny is millennials, LOL, huh? I don't think it's like mean so much as like riffing, I guess. I don't know how else to explain it. But anyways, sorry. TLDR. I feel like you can pick any generation and there's like bad behavior and cringy shit and brain rotted shit that people don't fix. Those people have always existed. The weirdos and the freaks in society have always existed, but there's still more than enough normal people to go around.
The traditional self-improvement that was usually just, you know, physical fitness, and, you know, athletic activities, whatever, sort of was in the mainstream in, you know, the early 2000s, 2010s. You would typically just see on forums a lot about bodybuilding, but now it's evolved a little bit further from that, and people are taking mind the face, you know, so that's one of the most important distinctions.
What lengths are you going to?
What lengths have I gone to? Well, I mean, I'd say I've pretty much tried it all. I haven't had plastic surgery, but just about everything else in terms of biohacking, right? So
Biohacking.
You can really do a lot for your looks with simple pharmaceutical intervention, right? So stuff like TRT, you know, stuff like taking an aromatase inhibitor so that your growth plates stay open longer. All these sort of things, if done properly at certain parts of your life, you know, specifically during puberty, you really can sort of overcome a lot of your genetic limits, I guess you could call it.
You promote what some would consider rather extreme methods, though. Can you take me through in detail what your routine is and what you've done from a young age?
Well, my current routine, just run you through sort of a list of like my stack, my protocol. That would take a little while. I mean, it's like, do you want me to send you a PDF? You know, because it's just a lot of people will ask me that question, and like I don't really think they realize like how long it would take for me to just run through a list of like a million pharmaceuticals. So let's just say it's a lot of biohacking, and I wouldn't really want to, you know, just say things without specifying what they are, what they do, the risks that come with them. Because if people just come on and watch this interview and see this crazy stack of pharmaceuticals, you know, they might assume that, you know, you're crazy for one. And also if they try to replicate that without a really comprehensive knowledge on like how to use them properly, how to mitigate side effects, it could actually do them a lot of harm.
Oh, well, let me ask you this then. Can we run through a few things? When did you start taking testosterone?
When I was 14 years old.
14 years of age. What possessed you to start doing that?
What possessed me to start doing that?
Possessed is crazy.
Well, I would say that one of the main reasons I started was
I have to say, this interview happening like days before he overdosed on stream from taking every single drug in the book. It's like, Clavicular is like, you know what's really frustrating for me? If he was reeled back just a little bit, he would be so based on the Looksmaxxing stuff. But then he also wouldn't have any of the attention or attraction, or like fame or whatever, and the media wouldn't care about him. Because, like, dude, I agree with Looksmaxxing in the sense of like I agree with like life maxing. Like, I think your life is improved by getting pretty good at most things. Like, I was having this conversation with some friends yesterday and the day before, but basically, if you're like really maximizing only one thing, you're missing out on all these other things that are pretty dope in your life or that you could be experiencing in your life. And if you're min-maxing a bunch of things at once, your life is going to get better and better and better and better. So like one such example would be having like a high intellect and just working on intellect. Like think of yourself as like a D&D character and you're just like dumping stats or whatever. If you just put all points as a human being that lives in the real world, all your points in like intellect or intelligence, your life isn't necessarily better. Like being really smart doesn't make your life better. Now, it doesn't hurt to be a little bit smarter, but yeah, your constitution will suffer. And I think there's like a baseline of intelligence that probably improves your life, but it's certainly not the case that it will hurt you if you dump a couple points in there. Maybe a better way to phrase it would be like, I feel like the people I know that are living life to the max are putting a lot of points into a lot of things. For example, being super attractive, spending all of your time and energy into being super attractive and becoming the most attractive person. It kind of doesn't help you if you're insufferable to talk to and nobody ever wants to speak to you. Because someone will speak to you for like 5 seconds and then they're like, damn, you are boring as shit. Oh my God. Same thing with being like really intelligent. It's like, I've met people that are pretty smart and they have like no friends because they build their whole personality around being smart, that they're kind of terrible to be around. Like they literally are just annoying to be around. There's no other redeeming qualities because they think that there's no other, they don't need anything else, right? I feel like if you want to live a good life, you charisma max. You put your points into trying to be a fun person to be around, and then you dump a couple points everywhere else as well. Variety is the spice of life. Same with being well-rounded. Yeah, like it certainly won't hurt you to get a hairstyle that helps you, that frames your face well. It doesn't hurt you to moisturize and like wash your face and do your skincare. It doesn't hurt you to find clothes that look good on you. Like all of those things will only improve your life. None of those things will make your life worse. Having a hairstyle that suits your face will not make your life worse in any way, shape, or form. And not having it might actually be making your life worse in ways that you're not perceiving, right? But it's the same thing with everything else also. Like, being a complete moron on every front, it doesn't mean that you're doomed to fail in life. But being able to, like, critically think about things it probably can only help you. Looking better also can make you feel better. Well, I also agree that there are certain, like, Looksmaxxing, or I believe that there are certain Looksmaxxing things that actually feel pretty good to do. Like, they can become kind of like a self-care ritual. Like, I do genuinely feel like washing your face at night and then, like, moisturizing, it just feels good to do. You, like, feel so accomplished and achieved. It's like, oh, yes, I did my skincare. All right, nice. It's kind of like, you guys ever brush your teeth after you eat, like, some crazy barbecue or something? And it feels good. Besides it being hygienic, it feels good to have your teeth feel so nice and clean. You, like, floss all of it out and you're like, oh, there's, like, this, like, relief you have. It's like the same thing for other things. I feel like the same thing with, like, fashion or, like, hair or beards or whatever. Like, that stuff just feels good it feels good to go to the store and get, like, a fit that looks good on you. It just feels good to do that. So I think, like, there are lots of ways to improve how you look that will improve your life and also make you happier, and that don't cost anything or don't take anything from you, cost anything in the, like, there's no risks associated with them. Overflossing feels so good, you're sick. I begrudgingly floss.
A lot of people on forums and were sort of talking about this, and just from the objective point of view that there's no reason for me to go to the gym and work out in any way other than the most efficient one, and that was with anabolic steroids. So it's sort of like a cheat code, and that's how I thought about it.
What about bone smashing? I've heard you speak about that. What does that involve?
Well, it's exactly how it sounds. I mean, you're just creating microfractures in specific areas of your face, and the idea behind it comes from Wolff's Law, right? So when you break down a bone, it grows back stronger.
Can I say something insane? I've said this story before, but can I say something insane? I believe in, like, hacking things. I do. I believe in, like, finding stupid, weird hacks that work. So I'm calling it, this is not what it's called, but I'm calling it fake GLP. So I think I shared this with you guys already. I read this study. I was doing some stuff. I was like, sometimes I'm just sitting there thinking. You guys do that? You guys just sit there and, like, ponder. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, I was like, why do people say water makes you lose weight? Like, drinking water makes you lose weight. Is that, like, a myth? And I actually don't know. Has this been clinically proven? And then I was like mad about it. I was like, let me look this up. And I started, like, looking at PubMed articles on this. I was like, let me look this up. Let me look this up. I actually don't know if this is fake news, this is just a myth, or it's real. Yeah, because I've heard, like, you think you're hungry and you're really just thirsty or whatever. I was like, let me look this up. And I read some research that showed that people who drank 500 milliliters of water right before a meal 3 times a day, compared to people who did not, lost weight, if you can believe it. And they didn't track food. They didn't track anything else. They told them, just continue on with your life normally. Do everything you normally do. But before 3 meals a day, have 500 milliliters of water. And I was like, not hot water, just cold water. It's normal water. I was like, 500 milliliters for a frame of reference is a bottle of water. And I was like, what? And the way that they did the study was they picked a bunch of people, and the control group, they just measured their weight, like, every week. And then, and the BMI and fat content and everything like that, and everything else, fat percentage. And whatever's the opposite, I guess, of control group. They just told them, do everything that you normally do, and just drink one of these before a meal 3 times a day. I was like, okay. And after 8 weeks, those people lost a significant amount of weight. Experimental group. I think like there was their body fat percentage dropped, their BMI dropped, and like their measurements dropped. I was like, what? How is that real? And I started doing it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it because I want to biohack. I want to biohack. And I don't remember if they said why they believe it works, but I will tell you guys from personal experience, having done this for like at least 2 weeks now, dude, it's so much water. Like but sometimes I'm like halfway through the water bottle, I'm like, glug, 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 glug. I'm like, I need a second. Okay, all right. I'm ready. Let's power through. Come on, we're almost done. And then by the time I finish this water, I'm just like, look at my body relative to this water bottle. This water is now in my stomach. And I'm like, oh, I'm so full of water. And I'm looking at my food, and my food is almost nauseous to look at. I'm like, I don't even know how much of this I could eat, bro. Oh my God. Now, if you're someone who normally drinks a lot of water, this might not be effective for you. I don't know. Maybe it's too much. I'm struggle with drinking water anyway, so it's been great for me because it really does just like fill you up. And excuse me. And man, I really, really, really am so full for so much longer than if I just have the meal normally. It's crazy. I have to switch to liquid death to get off the microplastics. No, the microplastics are making me stronger. As a water drinker, it still works if you do it right before the meal. Yeah, I think the core factor, the most important thing, is to drink it right before the meal, which has been great for me because I don't drink enough water anyways on a day-to-day basis, so it's kind of been making me drink enough water. I have to say, pissing as much as I've been pissing, it's actually making me mad, though. I'm not enjoying having to piss this much. This is how much people normally piss? You mean you don't piss like 2 or 3 times a day? What the fuck? You piss like once every other hour? This sucks, dude. I'm not enjoying this. I'm not enjoying this at all, man. But anywho, piss maxing is real. Yeah. On the bright side, at least like my pee is clearer. At least my pee is clear. But TLDR, I believe in like some level of biohacking that like some shit just works for no fucking reason. Not no reason, but it works even though it feels like it shouldn't work. Like if you say out loud, if you drink water before a meal, you will lose weight. That just sounds like a stupid sentence that shouldn't be real. And then there's like multiple studies on this, and every single study shows the exact same thing. And it shows that it works. Like, what the what? And there's a lot of things like that do work for no reason. So I agree on some extent to like, if things work, you should do them. Evidence-based statements, yeah. But then I also think that like, maybe there's a limit and maybe you shouldn't be bone smashing. I don't know. Maybe there are certain things that you shouldn't do. Maybe there are certain things that are going a little too far. You could make yourself sick doing that. Maybe if your stomach acid gets diluted too much when you do that. I didn't see any research on that. You're welcome. I would love to see a link on this. I personally know for a fact that like I'm not drinking enough water anyways. People are more full, less chance to overeat, just reduces calories. Well, yeah, but cool. I just learned yesterday that lots of stretching will help you gain muscle as much as weight resistance. You just have to stretch a single muscle for like 15 minutes a day to get those results though. Like, is it not cool that we live in such an era of information that we know so much more about human bodies than we've ever known before? And can I say the craziest thing I've ever done from reading a study? I read a study that showed that you will retain information better if it is immediately followed up by cardio. Okay, do not judge me for this. When I was learning League of Legends as an adult, because I never played it when I was younger because I'm not a loser, I decided I was tired of losing in lane to stupid bullshit that I didn't understand. So I've shared this story before, but I did it in passing really quickly, and there's not too many people here right now, so hee hee. So I wrote like flashcards for characters and their abilities, for champions and their abilities. And I would read the flashcard. It'd be like, like Vayne Q, blah, 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 does this, has this much damage, is scaling with this. And then I would do like 10 jumping jacks. And I did that until I learned like 100 characters. Because it worked. So if you guys want to remember stuff, put it on a flashcard and then do some jumping jacks or some push-ups or something. And you will remember them. You will remember it better. Yeah. Yeah. I am a firm believer of like your body is really silly and you can just make it do things whether it wants to or not. Like my body is like rejecting League of Legends and it's like, no, stop hacking me to make you play this game. So I think it's cool. I think it's cool. It came for the politics state for the gaming talk. Also, someone was saying earlier, Lantifa was saying the stomach acid thing about drinking water before a meal. Person saying it doesn't, the amount of acid in your stomach stays the same. It's diluted, but it's still effective because water diffuses into the body so fast. I all just had diluting stomach acid isn't a problem for science reasons. It's not the case either. If you dissolve 1 teaspoon of salt in 1 liter of water and drink it, you're still eating 1 teaspoon of salt. Stomach acid is secreted to break down food. If you secrete 1 acid and eat 1 food and drink no water, the ratio of acid to food is still 1. If you secrete 1 acid and eat 1 food and drink 2 water, ratio of acid to food is still 1. That's a good way of putting it. That's interesting. It's about pH. I would love to see. I mean, diluted with alcohol. Pete Kegg's breath has entered the chat. None of this information helps a fish see previous message bean soup recipe. Stop. How much cheese equals 1 acid? Well, I don't know. I would want to see research on it to see how the long-term research shows or what the long-term research shows on that. But I imagine it's similar to like alcohol where it's like, it doesn't matter if you dilute a shot of alcohol with like 5 bottles of water, you're still drinking a shot. It's not like, listen, I had 5 beers, but I also had 5 water bottles. It's like, okay. Wait, you still had a lot of alcohol though.
So you're intentionally creating these traumas, typically on your cheekbones, your chin, where
I feel like all of this shit comes down to like risk reward. I feel like the risk of hitting yourself in the face with a hammer is not worth the reward of like your bones are a little bit bigger, maybe.
ever in order to grow
Also,
your
I'm
bone.
so sorry I missed it. Chaitamo, thank you for the raid. Hi, thanks for always raiding. Welcome, raiders. Sorry. We were like 10 stunlock deep. 10 stunlocks deep.
And meth. I've seen you say you take meth. Do you do that for your appearance?
Not anymore, but I have previously, yeah.
Why would you do that? Why?
Stimulants suppress your appetite, and that is a stimulant with a very long half-life, meaning the suppression of your appetite lasts the entire day.
So
the problem with Clavicular is that technically everything he says is true when he's talking about the studies he's read and the information he's discussing. But like, just because something is true doesn't mean you should do it. Like, I don't know how else to like, you can theoretically not get addicted to nicotine, but like, why would you? Like, there are benefits, short-term benefits to being on a nicotine high, but it's probably not worth getting addicted to nicotine to do that. And then meth is just like an extreme version of that, right? It's like, yeah, it is an appetite suppressant, but Are you sure? I don't know. I feel like that's like a risky play there, dude.
Go back one, just to clarify. You take a blunt instrument to your face and repeatedly hit it. What does that achieve?
I'll typically use my fist.
What do you get out of that? That just sounds like you're doing damage to yourself.
Well, I just explained it, right? So you're creating microfractures in specific parts of your face, like typically your cheekbones. And according to Wolff's Law, it'll grow back stronger and bigger. So you're hypertrophying your bones.
You know,
This is so funny. TMZ posting clavicular suffers suspected overdose, hospitalized. Spends years mewing and getting surgery to achieve perfect jawline. TMZ crops out your chin.
doctors and medical experts will listen to what you say and shake their head and go, you're crazy for doing that, and it sends a horrible message. Do you deny that?
I don't really think that they would. Like, and I really haven't seen too many people who have actually looked into my content and the specifics beyond just reporter headlines and out of context clips, with people really disagreeing with my actual unironic Looksmaxxing advice. Now, obviously with me being a full-time streamer, sometimes
Feels like I'm eavesdropping on a conversation between a patient and their therapist. No.
jokes are made or recreational, things will be used that don't pertain to Looksmaxxing, and that could sort of be thrown into the loop. But in terms of like all these peptides and that kind of thing, I don't really think that many doctors would disagree. I would say that most people are coming around to taking peptides. Most people are coming around to GLP-1s, and the percentage of people who are taking them has grown rapidly.
Have you suffered any side effects from what you do?
Not really, because
You literally said you're sterile, man. What do you mean, not really? Ugh.
like I said before, if you actually, do comprehensive research, you know how to mitigate these side effects. Like testosterone could cause your hair to fall out, but if you take something like dutasteride, which is a 5-AR inhibitor, then you're not going to have any issues with that in most cases.
I've heard you describe yourself as infertile. Is that true?
I haven't officially been tested, but I've just been kind of going based on my anecdotal experiences. But yes, that is extremely likely due to the fact that I've been suppressed for a very long time because of my exogenous hormone usage.
Well, at least this 60 Minutes guy got his fucking notes, dude. I did not pre-watch this, by the way. Man, what a slaughter. I have to say, is he not on meth today? I feel like Clavicular usually is kind of like on it a little bit. He's like out of it. He is getting like unbelievably brutally fucking mogged to death in this conversation.
Why on earth is it worth it?
Well, first of all, that's honestly like a pretty mog side effect if you think about it, due to the fact that it's extremely easy to restart your fertility with fertility drugs like HMG and HCG.
Mogging. What do you mean by that?
It's a pretty mog side effect because you can start it up again. What does that even mean?
In that context, I just mean it's awesome. It's good.
Watching your content is like learning another language sometimes. You talk about ascending.
It's a mog
mogging.
world.
Can you explain to me what that means?
Ascending is just getting better looking, so Looksmaxxing, and mogging. I guess there's sort of a lot of contexts that it could be used in. Like for example, I just said it's a mog side effect, but generally has a positive meaning behind it. So you could mog someone, and you could height mog them. You could be taller. So it typically means like outshining someone in some regard.
Are you mogging me right now?
Well, in what metric?
Any?
status mogging.
What do you mean by that?
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like Clav usually mogs a little. He's not mogging in this. He is getting mogged. He is the one who gets mogged.
I mean, like I might be status mogging you maybe. I don't know. You're fine. Like potentially money mogging. Who's to say, right? I don't know. But like,
Is he like, what is he on? He's like, this is, I think, the worst interview and like the worst conversation he's ever had. He's ever had. He's like tired. He's like, who's to say? Why? I don't. Why is he so deflated? Bro needs his buddy to be like, want an addy? Want an addy? Yo, want an addy?
you know, those are different types of mogs that you could achieve on someone. It doesn't only pertain to looks, right? So there's all types of mogs.
Well, your whole persona and shtick is about appearance and looks, right? So would you say you're looks mogging me right now?
I would say they're pretty looks matched, personally.
I can't really see you, to be fair.
Can't really see you.
It's kind of hard with the light. The camera's quite far away. So I'll just give it to you.
Really?
Oh, the light in the yeah, I can see that, dude. Some rooms, some streamer rooms, and also like podcast rooms or whatever, the lights are really bright. Some people have their lights actually really bright.
Yeah, I mean, I can't see.
All right. Well, how about this?
Guys, as a prolific BL enjoyer, they are looks matched. I'm sorry to say.
If I was to come to you for advice, which you give out readily, would you say that I need to do something to myself to ascend or live a better life?
Well, the issue is you're just giga far away on a laptop screen, so I wouldn't be able to really say what you could do. It's very far away. So sorry about that.
I find it fascinating talking to you. I feel like you're a very different person face to face than the persona you give out online. Do you believe half the stuff you say?
I can't take it seriously when people say giga far away. I feel like giga is Twitch speak.
Do I believe half the stuff I say? So what are you saying? Inauthentic?
I'm just curious that...
Are you kidding me?
Of
Of course he believes all of it.
What you say on your videos and online about gaining attention more than necessarily it being what you truly believe.
In terms of streaming, yeah, like a lot of the activities that I do, like, you know, clubbing every day, you know, doing certain activities like that. Is that something I would do if I wasn't a content creator? No. So that part is, I guess you could say, just for virality. You know, I'm a pretty sheltered person. I, you know, like to spend time to myself, ideally. So all those experiences where I'm going out and about, talking to people, yeah, maybe that's not the most real version of myself, but everything I talk about in regards to Looksmaxxing and my philosophy, it's 100% real.
Why do you think you have become so extraordinarily popular among young men?
Because Looksmaxxing was the key thing that was missing from the manosphere and a lot of male internet spaces. And it's kind of the answer, right? So, you know, you could overcome a lot of disparities by becoming rich, by becoming famous, or whatever type of success. But if you're not physically attractive, then you won't be able to really have lasting relationships with women. You won't really gain a lot of respect from people around you. And you're treated differently right off the bat because of something called the halo effect, right?
Okay. Remember the conversation I was having earlier, chat, when I was saying all these people are just like missing a very important piece of this puzzle, which is you should be stat maxing. It's way more beneficial to improve multiple aspects of your life most of the way than it is to just maximize one to an extreme, right? I mean, everyone kind of rolled their eyes and laughed when the pickup artists and like the dude bros were like, if you have money, all bitches will love you. And then Elon Musk came around, and then when he plays any video game ever, the chat says, you have no friends and you will die alone. Because there are things that are still important, that you don't get a pass for having the worst personality in every room you've been in forever just because you have money or just because you are attractive. That's not good enough. Literally not good enough. People want a well-rounded individual. Nobody wants to date someone who only cares about one thing and one thing only.
And that's a horrible thing to have to overcome your whole life if you're not genetically well off.
See now,
and what he's talking about here is just like halo effect and like pretty privilege, which is real. I hate to say it, it is true. Halo effect is real. Pretty privilege is real. And your life is in fact improved by spending time looksmaxxing. Just not to this extent. Not even the Epstein Island welcomed Elon Musk. I mean, again, he has the personality of like a rock, and that's mean to rocks. I literally got looked at differently for fixing my posture. It's like, and it's everything. It's literally everything. But the cool thing is you can obtain, this is like hard to swallow pills. You can obtain and attain a lot of pretty privilege just by like doing your skincare, finding a hairstyle that suits you, basic hygiene, clothes that suit you, and working out a little bit. Like, none of those things are bad for you. There's no risk to doing any of those things. There's no risk of like, there's no risk associated with like washing your face and moisturizing. There's no risk of getting a haircut. Like, worst case scenario, it takes you a couple barbers to find a hairstylist or a barber that doesn't fuck your shit up. What if you don't have hair on top of your head? I wish Twitch had better markers or indicators on how large a female audience is, or like what the gender of viewers, the way that YouTube does, because I promise you, if you could look at Northern Lion's stats, that guy must have like probably the largest female audience of any male streamer I have seen in the past 5 years. But even Northern Lion, can you imagine Northern Lion with like chunky glasses? Or maybe like really tiny glasses or something? Like, even Northern Lion is still looksmaxxing by picking out glasses that frame his face well. There's still like people think that like, oh well, it's over for me. It's very, how do I explain this? It's very, oh, I had a donut today, so the rest of my diet is over, so I'm not even gonna bother. It's very like, we lost the first point, so just surrender coded. Like, okay, you have one thing that you think is against you, but you could totally, one, try and use it in your favor or for you. And also, two, what about all the other things that you could be doing? Like, giving up immediately because there's one thing you don't like is so stupid. Now I'm bald, I don't look as photogenic as Northern Lion. You would be surprised how much, all I will say is, before I started consistently doing skincare, I just always looked bad in photos. And then I started doing my skincare. And for some reason, my face just looked better. Even when I didn't have acne before, it just like literally, your skin just like kind of glows. I honestly was shook by how much of a difference doing my skincare made to my face. To photos. I was like, what the fuck? Don't talk about Northern Lion. I'm still getting my Northern Lion Super Cruise refund after he canceled it, and I'm pissed off.
I would disagree.
As a former long hair fairy prince, shaving bad hair is 100% the move. Also, hell of a lot of women are into bald guys. Correct. Drop the routine. Wash your face with a cleanser that is good for your skin that you like. Just anything that's labeled face wash that isn't irritating for you. Get that? I think a lot of people like Cetaphil. I don't like mine that much, so. Microsphere Tretinoin. Pond's moisturizer. And it's goated. It is goated. It is so goated.
And make the argument, Clav, that character, personality, maturity, intelligence are far more important than appearance. Do you think I'm wrong?
Well, bingo, there it is. But those are all perceived entirely differently, once again, based on your looks. So you're absolutely correct. You're just forgetting that key piece of nuance that is kind of the reason that my message resonates so well.
Do you think that sends the wrong message to vulnerable, insecure men?
It's like Clav is such a victim of his age because he genuinely doesn't understand that, like, in the same way that all these other things are a piece of the puzzle, Looksmaxxing is also just one piece of the puzzle. Like, taking care of yourself visually is just one piece of the puzzle, and it's not enough to get anything else. Stavy gets laid? Yeah, but Stavy also wears auraful outfits. Like, Stavy is actually the perfect example of someone who is Looksmaxxing. He's just Looksmaxxing in a way that people are traditionally not expected to. Can you imagine if, like, Stavy didn't wear fun outfits? He would lose so many aura points. He would lose so many aura points. He dresses well and has good hygiene. Like, I'm sorry. A big part of why this photo works, hard to swallow pills. A big part of why this photo works is because of the tracksuit. Because he's leaning into the memeability of the tracksuit. Like, even just like look at this outfit and compare it to when he's just wearing like a graphic tee. Look at how much aura he just lost. Look at how quickly he lost aura points. He dropped at least 1 point on aura. All right? I'm saying. Now he's laughing. That's not the problem. The laughing is not the problem. You could, like, Photoshop the other face onto this one. The laughing is not the problem. And you are cope mauled posting if you disagree. What is an aura point? A metric for measuring how much aura you have, how much aura you resonate, and whether or not you can frame mug. If you play the video with the T, Stavy gets aura back from being hilarious. Yeah, but, like, he could have double aura for both. Why do you have Stavy pics on a shortcut? I just looked it up on my computer, bro. On the internet. I'm telling you guys, I'm serious. You get massive aura points for caring about how you look. And it doesn't mean that, like, oh, well, I'm fat, so I'm going to be ugly and hideous to everyone forever. It's like wrong, completely incorrect. Absolutely incorrect. Oh, well, I'm bald, so I shouldn't even bother trying anything else. It's like, what is this defeatist mindset? Wrong, incorrect. You can build around, I think, anything. All right? You can build around anything. Especially if you have a lot of charisma. But then you're gesture maxing and not looks maxing? No, I'm talking about you can still looks max. Like, if you're like, well, I'm fat, so I'm not even going to bother trying to find clothes because I'm not going to find anything that looks good on me. Wrong. There are clothes that you can find that will look good on you, that will make you visually look better. You're just not trying and you're just giving up because you think that you can't find anything. But you haven't even tried yet. You tried like once because you went to like a Macy's or something and you didn't like any of the clothes you found there. sorry to say, everybody hates their experience there, right? The same thing with like being bald. It's like, dude, there are so many bald people that are improved by shaving the rest of their facial hair off or growing it in and getting a nice pair of glasses. Or, while you don't need glasses, okay, find an outfit that works with you, that swags with you, bro. It's already a solved problem. Wear a Hawaiian shirt. Real. Real. Like, I'm just saying, like, for example, this image. Look at how many aura points he gets for this fit, bro. The gold chain necklace, the purple suit. Bro, the aura point. Think of how few aura points he would have if he was wearing the fit on the right. No offense to the guy on the right. I think that guy is just like some random dude that's just hanging out. But he's not like, can you imagine if Savvy was like, well, I'm fat, so I'm not even going to bother trying to like wear anything that makes me look good. Bro, no. And you will feel more confident when you've dressed yourself and you're proud of what you put together. And you're like, oh, I'm feeling myself. Yes. Wait. I'm feeling myself. You can also make fashion fits your interest. I love sketching and designing characters used to hate my fits until I started looking at them as sketches and framed from my own perspective. Now it's fun to make up new outfits. I'm just saying. You can easily collect aura points.
I think it's a hard thing to hear at first if you're someone who is genetically not good looking. If you're telling them that the world revolves around being good looking, because now they have to overcome this seemingly impossible obstacle in their life and potentially, do all these pharmaceutical drugs, get plastic surgeries, whatever. But this is true, and we have a lot of data to back it up. So how people respond to this sort of brutal reality is up to them. But yeah, you're certainly right. It could send people into spirals, give them severe body dysmorphia, whatever. But
that's why I don't even fuck with any of that shit, right? Like anything that has, like, when the risk reward doesn't feel worthwhile, why would you do that shit, right? But if the risk reward is worthwhile, like, what's the risk? You go to a thrift store and you didn't find an outfit you liked. Okay, you baby. Sometimes I go to the grocery store and they don't have my favorite ice cream. It's not the end of the world. Sometimes it'd be like that, all right? There are worse problems to have in life, okay? I have sometimes gone, like, to 6 stores and found nothing. Nothing. And I'm like, bruh. Sometimes it just be like that. Sometimes there's just nothing that you want, that you like. All right? That's tough. Genetics is such a small portion of being good looking. Look at Ed Sheeran. Dude is not conventionally attractive, but I know bro pulls. Correct. I mean, yes. Correct. I think it's just like, I have such a fundamental disdain for defeatist mindsets. It's the same reason why I've always hated, since day one, I've always hated doomerism politics. I never understood why it took off. Well, I understand sort of why it took off, but I've never understood being attracted to that mindset or that mentality about things. Because it's like, no, fuck you. I'm gonna try to the very end. Okay? I will stop trying when I'm dead. When I no longer can try, then I will stop trying. Until that point, I'm going to keep trying, goddammit. I don't care how losable it is. I'm going to keep trying. Stop. Pretty crazy. But it's the same thing, right? Like, okay, so you have a couple things working against you, So, you lock in, bro. Just fucking lock in, bro. Lock in. It's such a childish mentality. I mean, again, like, I literally used to think that when I was like a 12-year-old. Denims doing hopium is her version of Hassan yelling at gray names. It's every day. Yeah, I don't know. I disagree so fundamentally. I just don't think you should ever take it. Once you realize the risks are sort of starting to outweigh the rewards, then you should stop. Right? So, like, what's the risk of going to a hairstylist? They just fuck your shit up, bro. They just cook you, bro. All right. And then your hair grows back in a couple months or something. There are worse things that have happened, you know? There are worse things that can happen. Your hair will, grow back. It's okay. You got bald, they balded my shit, bro. Well, if you have hair follicles, it's still gonna grow back. What's the worst thing if you get a pair of glasses that don't suit your face? Okay, we'll just get another pair, man. You know? There are worse things that can happen. What's the worst thing if like you go for a walk? You get a little tired. Okay. Like wasp and then you die. No. I'm saying because of the walk. Hit by a bus. Yeah, that can happen doing anything, right? That's like I'm on my way to the drugstore and I just got hit by a truck. That's not inherent to the walk. Can't happen at home. Well, you can always just do jumping jacks at home. There are worse things, right? Like there are worse things. What's the worst thing that'll happen if you start taking testosterone and you don't need testosterone? You go sterile and then you go bald. I don't know, man. That doesn't seem like it's worth it, man. And see, I don't want to have to take a fucking cocktail of drugs for this other drug that I'm taking. That seems really stupid. I don't know. What's the worst thing if you start taking meth? You get horribly addicted and become a meth head. That doesn't seem worth it. I don't know. I don't know. What's the worst thing if you bone smash too hard? You end up in the hospital? That doesn't seem worthwhile to me, man. What the fuck? I don't know. The risk reward is not adding up here, people. But like, what's the worst thing if you wash your face and put moisturizer on? You liked it a little bit and now you're a little gay? Like, what's the what's the downside to that exactly? there's no downside. You're just taking care of yourself. To wrap up the Clav segment really quickly before we get into this. Doomerism is comfort, IMO, comfort in knowing you have no responsibility over the bad things in your life. I guess. I've always thought that mindset is depressing. It's like, but I'm a human being with agency. I want to have control over my life. I want to impact the things in my life. And not having that is very depressing for me. Sorry, before I get into this is a great place to end this conversation. Before we get into this depressing stuff, as a 36-year-old man who barely takes care of his skin, yet has literally one forehead crease due to being functionally blind without glasses. Don't listen to these self-help people unless their help is to go for a walk, moisturize, and learn to dress better. I do one of those things and have a girlfriend. You'll get it, kings. Because I will tell you nothing, and this is what none of these manosphere people want to tell any men. The thing that is most attractive to women is effort. This is the truth. This is the truth, nuke, okay? The thing that is most attractive to women across the board is effort. That you try. It's okay. And obviously, if we're talking about shallow women, because there are shallow women and there are shallow men, you're not appealing to those people. Who cares? Those people were never going to like you anyways, and you don't like them anyway, so who gives a shit? I'm talking about normal human beings. Normal women, normal men, normal human beings. Normal people that aren't freaks about hypergamy or whatever you want to call it. They just want, most women that I've met, they just want to see effort. That's it. There is nothing more unattractive than talking to a man and being like, oh, would you do this? And they're like, oh, that sounds like so much work. About everything. About literally everything. God. It is like the biggest turnoff for any well-adjusted adult. Like, I understand not caring about certain things or like, sometimes you don't have the spoons for it, but like if you're on a date with someone and you're talking about stuff, it's cool to talk to someone who tries. And it's an indicator of whether or not they would try with you. Okay, but I'm lazy. I've accepted that about myself. Your move. Then you have to go find someone that's as lazy as you that doesn't shower and pisses in bottles and doesn't try. But unfortunately, you might be a little unlucky because most women tend to do those things. So you just cut the pool of people that are willing to be in that pool. Or sorry, you've cut your dating pool down a lot because there aren't a lot of women that engage in that behavior. So gamers are a turnoff. Wrong. I'm a degenerate gamer. I was like grinding games to get Celestial 2 days before the season ended. Like I was a degenerate. I played all day, but like that didn't stop me from showering that day, you know? um yeah, but anyways, that's all that's to say. It's just the effort. That's it. It's just the effort. That's the effort that's the cool thing. Like it is genuinely cool when I speak to someone and uh they try to enjoy life to the fullest and they're always open to like trying out new things and things that would improve their life. Like it's so cool. And maybe you guys have run into these people. I try to emulate these people because I think that they're really cool. People I've run into that are like they're always like down to try something new. If you're hanging out in a group and someone's like, "You guys want to go hiking?" and they're always the person that says, my cardio is terrible. I'm down. Let's go. I'm game." When? It's like cool. Cool. And that's their opinion on like so many things in life. That's so much fun. It's like you want to do things. And I don't expect I don't say yes to literally everything because I'm a little lazy, but I try, you know? And I think that's all people want to see. I think in my experience, especially talking to women, people just want to see effort. They just want to see that, right? I've tried hiking. That shit is ass. Dude, for real. Dude, for real. No, totally true. How do you navigate that field while being someone who even mildly knows, imagine, probably have a lot of cloud tracers ruining the dating experience. Oh, like in my personal life, you could just, I don't know, vibe it out. Also, I would, low curcularly, I would never date another content or like another streamer. That sounds so stressful. I used to, like, I saw so many internet breakups and internet streamer breakups that made me certain that I would never want to publicize any part of my life personally, but also that I would never want to date another streamer because then everyone just says they made you. Like people say that about like Cutie and Ludwig. It's like she literally made him. What are you talking about? Or seeing like the aftermath of like the Maya Miskiff breakup where she like literally every day in her chat it was just hell. Or even like Kaide and Tens. It's like, dude, God forbid you date a popular male creator on the internet and you break up and it's amicable. And now you just have to deal with this shit. Like, that sounds awful, man. That sounds awful. Christ. That, after seeing that shit, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Mm. Would you secretly date another streamer? I also don't think I would want to date another streamer because it's like streaming is such a full-time job. That's not right. It can eat a lot of your time if you let it. And you can spend a lot of time thinking about content and like putting things together and putting a lot of energy in that I think it would have to be you would have to have a very good synergy in a relationship to make it work. When both people are spending so much time working on their stuff, working on their streams and content that they're planning and doing the actual stream and stuff. And I would never want to feel like one person's content was more important. And that sounds awful, God forbid you're the person, or even if they're the person. And then, like, I've talked to people, like, in the content space, I've had friends who have been not creators, and I have friends who have been creators that are dating creators. And one friend of mine recently broke up with a content creator, and she said it was pretty amicable and everything, but she said, like, basically a big part of her life ended up sort of like revolving around her partner because his content was just so important. And he's not even like a bad person. Like he's again, he's not even like a bad person. Like he's a normal dude, totally chill, leftist. But you can accidentally dump so much of your heart and creativity into someone else's content that you can sort of like forget who you are and stuff. And that's like such a burden to put on another person, right? I mean, even I think Anissa talks about it a little bit with like being with iDubbbz, Ian, where so much of her life and like her content and everything about her has become overshadowed because of his platform. And people don't even know that she was like a massive streamer back in the day. And people just say, well, she's only popular because the OnlyFans and she's dating Ian or iDubbbz or whatever. And it's like, no, she was like a large streamer before she ever met Ian. And now like, and then you have to deal with everyone that like villainizes you because you took away their favorite male creator or whatever. And then she's talked about how like she spent so much time, she took so much time away from her stuff and her content and her self and her personhood for her partner. And that she kind of got like overshadowed in so much of that stuff. And it's a very difficult thing to deal with, I think. Because it's easy to get absorbed into someone else's content and their content creation activities and everything. And I think it takes a lot of effort to make it work. If that makes sense. It's so funny watching incels try and pretend Ian is miserable. I laugh so hard when I see like, they're getting divorced tomorrow. They're getting divorced tomorrow. What none of those people recognize, by the way, is that she didn't wokeify him. They were both edgy fuckheads that both realized that being edgy kind of is mean. And like, maybe you should pick better targets. They're 100% done. Like, no, they're not. Okay. Ian is getting divorced and Denims is homeless and Hassan is bald. So yeah. Did you see her Facebook status? Oh, I think I saw that. That was very funny. But yeah, respect to the people who try and make content work with another content creator, because that sounds like a lot of effort and a lot of work. Work that I really would not want to do. Like that, it's not an easy amount. Nisha was literally there for the Tana N-word video. She was definitely edgy. Yeah. Well, the internet was a very edgy place, so I'm not surprised. But Ian literally mentioned meeting fans and how cringe they were. Yeah. Will and Caroline do it well? Yeah. But like, it's like, what does the back end look like? Like, how much effort goes into dealing with weird people? Because as a woman online, it doesn't matter what male creator you date, you're always going to get hate. Because it's like, well, you're ruining him. You're ruining him. And you always will get that. It's like, fuck that, dude. I would never want to deal with that shit. At least nobody is like, well, you're only popular because of your boyfriend. Ugh. Oh, and the worst thing is, oh, hi, Ian. The worst thing is like, it's so infuriating and irritating, by the way. Imagine starting a rumor that Haas wears toothpaste. Crystal ball ruined, Kyle. It's so infuriating assuming that all of your positions are just like ascribed to you by the men in your life. Or the other way around. It's just so irritating. Ugh. What's so irritating is I've had it happen in my personal life. And it's interesting because it only happens in straight relationships. Like when I've been with men, people in my life, privately are like, attempt to suggest that I only think things because of man in life. But when I date women, that doesn't happen. Interesting. It's either that happens or they say that like you're a succubus and you stole this person. You stole their favorite male creator or whatever. Wait a second. But I was watching an old items video the other day for nostalgia's sake. I was like, holy shit, man. I'm so happy this isn't funny anymore. I was such a chud. I mean, there are still things that are very funny in old items videos. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry to talk about it while you're here again. But man, it's crazy how much better like the content is. Because I actually never saw any videos. I kind of like was a woke loser that spent most of my time on Tumblr. So I was spending more time reading fanfics and stuff. Well, not fanfics. I didn't read fanfics, but reading like musings from fellow fandom members, is a better way to put it. So I went back and I watched some of this old content. I was like, okay, some of this stuff is funny because it's just good comedic timing on certain things. Like I went back and I watched the Leafy video, and some of it is funny. Some of it is absolutely funny. A lot of the street stuff was that was just funny. That was a good skit. But pacing was so bad, dude. Newer videos, the pacing is so much better. It's like the points flow way better. The jokes are better. There's nothing cringe anymore. It's like actually, putting the chin on Leafy was fun. Well, that was just a funny bit, dude. That was just a funny bit. So like there's definitely stuff in there that's funny, but like, man, the content was so much worse back in the day. You could get away with so much worse stuff, whereas like today the content is so much better. I'm so spoiled by content today. But anyways, sorry to talk about random nonsense. That one was so funny too because it was like the bully getting bullied for once. Well, yeah, I think it's the same appeal of like H Bomber guy videos or Jay Aubrey videos where it's like if you pick good targets and you pick people that like actually don't fucking that actually suck and are incredibly horrible people and you point out their hypocrisy, it's kind of funny. Like the idea of like it is objectively funny and you are not punching down to say that Nancy Mace is one of the most transphobic people on the planet that actively works to make trans people's lives worse and worse and worse and worse every single fucking day. Also was paying people to promote the idea that she's the hottest woman in Congress on Reddit. That's hilarious. That is so funny. There's something so funny about like, you'll never be a real woman. And like, bitch has never done a squat in her life. She has Hank Hill ass. It's like, have you tried? Do you want to attempt? It's crazy for you to talk about other people failing when you're literally assless. When you're assless. Because you don't want to do some, what are they called? Like hip dips or lifts or whatever? No, hip dips are the mental illness. Where you put the bar and then you flex up. But anyways. Or like the fact that it's like, there's no such thing as gender affirming care, gets like lip filler, gets every plastic surgery known to man on your face. It's like, hip thrust, that's the word. Sorry for keeping you on screen for so long. But yeah, I don't know. I personally just think like the bar is on the floor. And if you try at all, I think people, not men, not women, I think people are attracted to effort. Think about like, think about the worst date you ever had and think about the best date you ever had. Like, do you think it would be a very fun date to go on a woman, to go on a date with a woman and you're like, what do you do? I just watch Netflix. Oh, well, what do you do for work? I work as a kid. Is there anything that like, if you could travel somewhere, where would you go? I don't know. Traveling is like, sounds like a lot of work. I don't know. I would, but then I have to like plan it and then, pick out destinations. And there's always something that goes wrong. I don't know. Is there anything that you want to try? Would you ever go like skydiving? No. I don't want to do that. It's like, I've been on this date. It's like, what? I want to leave this date as quickly as possible. This is not fun. None of this is fun. Like, and it's okay to say you're not interested in everything, because if somebody told me like, do you want to go skydiving? I'd be like, see, I have the part in my brain still intact that wants to keep me alive. You know, survival instinct, I think is what they call it. So no, I think I'm good on skydiving. I don't know if you noticed, my complexion is just a few shades too dark for that behavior. Yeah. I'm good on that. But like, we could do like mini golf or something. Do you like mini golf? I'm down to do some, like, you want to go swimming or something? That sounds like it'd be fun. Where you're bringing energy to the table. Like, you're not an energy vampire. You're having fun. It's okay to say no. It's okay to be like, hell to the no. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Some white people in my life are trying to kill me with the activities. They'd be like, do you want to go hiking for 17 hours straight? It's like, no. No. Do you want me to fucking torture you and flay you alive? Yeah, I didn't think so. White people be like, hey, do you want to go rock climbing? I went once rock climbing, and unfortunately, all of my strength is in my lower body. None of it is in my upper body. I did the most baby one that they had available, like the tier 0, and I struggled the whole way up. And then I look at the people, this fuckhead that invited me. Guy was in great shape. Great shape. Invited me. And all of his friends are in great shape. Didn't mention that to me, by the way. Didn't think he needed to mention that to me. And they're doing like the 7 tier where you're like flipped upside down, like crawling like you're fucking Spider-Man. And I'm like, oh, so like, was this a humiliation ritual? Just to fuck with me? Like, I just want to know, do you hate me? Was it something I said? You can just tell me. You can just tell me, dude. And I was like, after that, I was like, all right, let's get to, I can do a chin up maybe. Or like, maybe I could do like 20 push-ups before I go embarrass myself rock climbing again. That you did squats? Yeah, but like, you benefit more from upper body and grip strength. And I have no grip strength. I have negative grip strength. Like, do you see this? This is pathetic. You would think like I have big enough hands that maybe I could like grip. No, I don't have it. I do not have, I have gamer hands. I have Soybot, help me. Guys, I struggle to open water bottles sometimes. I struggle to, or I literally, it's, some of them are just difficult. I just can't. And also I have no upper body strength. My upper body strength is negative. It's negative. Worst feeling ever, dying, hiking Yosemite, being lapped up by 90-year-old white ladies with fucking walking sticks. It's like, dude, what did I do in a previous life to deserve this? So no grip? Yeah, no grip. You need decent technique too, or even easy routes are hard. True. I can't open jars sometimes. It's so annoying. You can work with grip in all legs. You can push almost everything and save your arms for when you can't. Yeah. I'm also like, anyways, if you see Denims at a crosswalk, be sure to escort her. All right, sorry for having this on. I didn't realize I had this on the screen the whole time I was talking about this. Yeah, anyways, all of that was just to say, I think it boils down to people like interacting with other people that try and that are down to try. And it's a good experience, or it's a fun quality. It's a nice quality to find in another person. And I think you can signal that you do this with other things. Like if you have a sense of fashion, especially as a man, and by sense of fashion, I mean you've worn any outfit that's a little bit interesting. You're immediately signaling to all of the people around you, I try a little bit. I try. And it's the same thing with like, if you have a haircut that really suits you. You probably had to work to find a stylist that didn't fuck your shit up. So you're signaling to everyone else, hey, I'm trying. In the same way that like, what Asmongold signals to everyone else is like, he is a freak. He is a degenerate freak that doesn't brush his teeth or shower or leave his house. Like, oh, So, fixing my haircut was the #1 best improvement I've made in being attractive to women. I'm saying. Makeup to women is what hair is to men. Hairstyles is to men. And sometimes, for some men, that hairstyle is being bald. And I'm not joking, and I'm being super serious. I'm being very serious. And facial hair, And it's the fact that it's a cheat code, because even if the other person doesn't realize they're thinking it, they're thinking, cool, this is a person who tries in life. Our bald subreddit has so many amazing transformations. Seriously, I'm serious. Yep, you're right. I cut my hair and I got carded at the bar. It can make you look way different. So I am 100%. I'm 100% serious. I think you can make your life better by having fun with it. You're only alive once. I think maybe chat's different. Don't you want to maximize it and really enjoy it as much as you can? What's the harm in trying a little bit? You fail a couple times, who cares? You and everybody else. You and everyone else. How is the convo still here? My bad. I feel very hopium pilled, chat. Okay.